the chat box as you're going, and you're in one.
All right, looks like we had a colossal fail the first time around. I mean, we got through a good amount of it, and it's one of those things. Hey, we got to do trial and error right now. So I've already come to the conclusion that there's a few difficulties and a few obstacles that we have when we're trying to attempt something like this. One, make sure you turn off your radio while you're doing this. I didn't realize that my radio was still going on when I first started the stream. So make sure that that's not the case. You want to get as little outside noise as possible while you're running it. The other thing is the camera definitely starts to heat up. The phone overheats. I got numerous warnings telling me that the phone is going to be overheating, and I try to press and push the limits as much as I could, but that definitely was an issue in itself. The other thing is, if you're going to be attempting to do this through a phone, you got the problem where you're going to get calls coming in while you're doing the stream. And I've come to the conclusion that if I take the call while I'm on, I think it gets recorded onto the stream, and I don't want that to be the case, especially if it's a client or somebody that's calling about inquiring about a certain property, or if it's any type of sensitive information. And the other thing is, if you know, the person on the other side might not necessarily want you to be talking about your things at that point with them. So you have that issue going on, and you know, there's quite a few different issues that have come up. So there are limitations of how we could do it. I'm trying to think out what are the best ways to resolve some of these issues and get past them. I'm thinking to myself, either having a secondary mobile device that I'm streaming from, either with a second phone number. It's relatively cheap to be able to get a second phone number on your line now. You could probably get one for like $10 extra to have a second phone line on there. You just gotta get the phone and attach it. So, you know, another $10 a month. If you're gonna be doing this enough, it's well worth it. I'm thinking that might be one route. So, in case I am getting calls while it's happening, they won't interrupt the stream. So that's one thing that I'm thinking might be something that was worth it. If we're in a mobile setting, I don't think it's really a smart idea to hook up to a laptop. It's kind of tough to be able to walk around and carry a laptop to be able to get a webcam attached to it. So I don't think that's going to be something that really works either. If anybody has any ideas of how to be able to pull this off and do live streams while you're either driving around, you're in a mobile situation, or if you're in an area where you don't have a lot of Wi-Fi access, I'd love to hear that from as many people as possible. Any ideas that you have, that would be great. I just wanted to see if what thoughts anybody had on that. I'm pretty much a novice when it comes to all this videography and streaming. I'm not like a big time YouTuber or anything like that. I'm learning, I'm adapting as I'm going. So we'll see. Here's something that I'm getting text now as we're going through this streaming. I don't know if they're being recorded right now as I'm talking. I hope they're not being recorded, because I can't tell what the texts are saying because I have the phone at a distance from me on my dash as I'm driving, so I got to be hands-free. So I don't know if that's going to be something that really is something that I have to work with. I'm learning. There's no real, I mean, there's tons of tutorials and tips and tricks and stuff like that you see on YouTube, and different type of people that are giving advice on there. But the one thing I've come to realization is that, yeah, you can take all the advice and it's great. I love the fact that we have all these tutorials and all these people that are giving all this great advice out there and helping us with. But I think nothing beats trial and error. And you might as well jump in with both feet and almost baptism by fire and try to get all the kinks out by running a live run. It's tough. One, it's tough because you don't have a script. I mean, you can get a script and have it ready as you're doing the live stream, but that kind of defies the whole purpose of doing something like that. You want everything to be spontaneous, and you want everything to be kind of off the cuff kind of a situation. But it could be also one of those things that by being too scripted, it gets too boring. So there's no surprises. Like, in other words, if I'm driving right now and a bird flies in through my thing, you're going to catch that live, and it hits me in the head, and you'll laugh at me, I guess, or whatever the case is. That's the whole part of being live and getting that aspects to it. So I like the fact that I could use that kind of thing. I also like the fact that I could use something interactive and have people commenting and being interactive with me while as I'm streaming. The only bad thing with that is, like I said, and I have a hands-free device that's recording me as I'm speaking. However, if somebody were to put something in the chat box, I wouldn't be able to see it at this moment. And I would have to check it out as soon as I get to my destination or wherever I pull over and that kind of thing. So that's limited. I wonder if in the future YouTube will actually add audio where somebody could actually, using a microphone, say something while the stream is going. If I unmute them or whatever the case is, that would be great, a great addition to what's being offered right now. I don't know if that's going to be the case. It could get a little bit tough. It might get a little bit difficult to be able to maintain, and I'm sure they have limitations on how much they could stream simultaneously, depending on everybody's bandwidth and how much YouTube is willing to do as far as speeding up their process as well. If anybody could do it, I'm sure Google could figure out a way. But we'll see. Now, on the last stream that we did, we got to past one house, and I didn't get a chance to go into the other houses yet. And I'm still actually going to head over there very shortly. But I think I'm going to have to cut the stream and not go through the whole tour of all the houses at this point, because it's just a little tough to be able to pull this off without having the right stuff going on. I got to figure out a way to keep the phone cool and not have any overheating kind of issues. That's one thing that's it's troublesome to me, because one, I don't want my phone to get damaged, because especially these days it's a pain to get a new phone. You got to sit there and wait for it to be delivered, and trust me, it's not the most fun kind of situation right now to have. And two, this is a good phone. I paid good money for it. I paid over $1,000 for it. I don't want it to burn out because I'm just pushing it as far as I can. So we'll see. What ended up cutting my stream before and basically putting me over the top as far as not being able to get stuff done was there was a call that was just going on there, and I have an app that kind of gives me a photo ID on the how you call it, see, this is what happens when you're doing a live stream. You lose your train of thought sometimes when you catch wind of something, then it distracts you. But the thing that I think would help me a lot, see, and I just lost my track of thought. That's what happens when you do live streams. A lot of new construction is happening over here. It's great. It's actually really nice to see that it's happening. For all those that don't know, Phase 1 has already taken effect in Long Island, and the new construction is starting to kick in again. Thank God. At least some sectors are starting to move and do something. That being said, I'm just trying to figure out right now where I just left off, but okay. So I have to figure out, one, to get the chatting part of it kind of figured out. The other thing is to keep the phone itself cooled off and not overheating. I guess during the winter, the cooler months, you won't have that much of an issue doing that. But when it's hot, like the way it is today, I'm literally sweating bullets right now. If it's as hot as other days, like this day, that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. So that being said, I mean, it's a real concern. The other thing is the losing the. That's where my thoughts were. So I have an app that actually pops up and gives me caller ID kind of situation, and kind of gives me more information on the call that's coming in if it's an unidentified number. So what happens is whenever I'm getting a call, that app pops up, so it knocks me off of whatever app is running right now. So like I was running on the YouTube studio of doing the live stream. So because that app popped up while the call was coming in, I got knocked off. Not the greatest situation. So you got to kind of figure out which apps have conflicts with the others, either deactivate them or just not use them at all. But we're going to have to figure things out a little bit more and more. It's, this guy's, for some reason, he's on my neck right now, behind me. I'm actually not going that slow. I'm going like 40 miles an hour. What this guy's problem is, I don't know. Sunday drivers, I guess. It is wild how much new construction's happening over here. So now I'm actually getting those things. The phone's actually starting to heat up again, and I'm getting the warning. It says warning. Phone is in danger of overheating. Turn off, and etc. etc. I can't read it from this distance to figure out what it says exactly, but I get the idea. It's tough, You're running, you have it running from your dash, and unless I maybe cover it or something like that. Like I said, if you have any ideas of how to be able to get past this and find a way to keep it cool while driving, I'd love to hear it. Not only while driving, if you're in an outdoor kind of area and you're recording, I'm sure the phone overheats for other reasons as well. But, wow, I'm shocked by how much stuff is going on over in this sector right now. I'm forced to take a alternate route that I usually take, and it's amazing the stuff you discover on the different drives that you take. That's something I actually advise a lot of people to do, is if you're doing your routes and you're going from house to house, purposely take a different route and purposely change direction to figure out what the best, that way you're not missing anything. Like, in other words, if you're coming from one direction every single time, try to find alternate routes to get to that place. One, it's good to know all the routes to come there, just in case you have somebody that's trying to meet you or doing something, to be able to direct them. But you also want to see what else is happening. If you're taking the same exact route every single time, you're bound to miss things that are happening around you. And in our business, one of the things that are so important to do is to always be aware of everything that's happening around us. And you don't want to be that guy or that woman or whatever that misses things, that actually important things that could be going on. And when you're called out on it by somebody, a prospective buyer, prospective person, like right now I'm seeing there's a for sale by owner right here, right next to me. If I didn't take this alternative route, I wouldn't realize that there was a for sale by owner, because half these for sale by owners, they don't even advertise. They don't just stick a red and white sign on the lawn, and they basically just, hope that somebody's going to drive by their place. It's not necessarily the best idea to do that, and it's not always the best way to get you the most money for the place, but that's what a lot of people do. So what happens is somebody might be coming to visit one of the houses that we have for sale, and then they'll ask me about that house, not realizing that it's a for sale by owner, and I need to know as much as I can about that place. One, because I should know my inventory around it. Two, if it's competing with me in any possible way. Three, if the price is something that is in the same ballpark as the stuff that I'm selling. Four, it might be a possible listing that I could get. If I speak to the seller, they might be willing to list the place with me, especially if they know that I have other properties in the area that I'm selling right now. Always make sure that you call up and find out as much information about that place as possible. But that being said, I'm going to sign off right now because I could feel that the phone is completely overheating, and it's this streaming experiment while driving is going to be one day that's a work in progress. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off the way I want to pull it off, but I'm going to do anything I can to figure it out. I might have to get different angles. I might have to find a different way to be able to go about it. But thanks for struggling and getting through this video with me. Any comments, any notes that you could please put down, it would help me out a lot to be able to figure out how to get all the kinks out of working off a real good YouTube stream and giving out the best possible content that I can. I hope everybody stays well, continues to do the right thing, and at the same time, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. And if you like this video, press the like button. If you don't like it, press the dislike button. That's okay. Not everybody's going to like everything that they see, but at least I know if I'm on the right track or if I'm on the wrong track of what I'm doing. Be well, and I'll be back with you. Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to see. There's somebody that's actually on here, and it looks like he's the only one here. I think the other people that were on were I think the other ones were actually all knocked off with my first stream. But at least there's somebody on here. Thanks for being on it, and like I said, I'm gonna try to figure out a way to possibly stream this in a different way and put out a better version of this content. And when I do, I'm sure we'll have a great product that's gonna come out. I'm gonna have to run a few trials again as far as this is concerned, and I'm going to have to see. Now I see what's happening. Now that I'm steady and I'm able to see, I could see the commentary going down there. So that's actually a really good thing. But the thing is, while I'm driving, I will be able to do that. But like I said, I'm going to continue doing everything I can to improve the video production on it. We're going to find better equipment to be able to use, stuff that probably wouldn't overheat the way this one is. And I'm going to continue to do my routes. I'll take some video of the house that I go in while offline, and I'll put together a video to be able to give you guys an idea of the stuff that we're working on as far as the new construction here in Syosset again. I have put stuff out there in the past, and I wanted everybody to get to see what the finished products is, especially when you take and compare one to the other. It'll be a great way to approach it. And like I said, be well, and looking forward to putting out the best another video for you soon. Thank you.